I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya predicts Jan Blachowicz will take down Alex Pereira, beat him up there. Okay? UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya expects Jan Blachowicz to lean on his wrestling against Alex Pereira. Former light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz welcomes Alex Pereira, who was the former middleweight champion, to the light heavyweight division in the UFC 291 co-main event, co-headliner, same thing, on July 19th in Salt Lake City. Israel Adesanya experienced his first career MMA loss, right, in 2021 when he moved up and failed in his bid to become dual champ. He moved up to the UFC light heavyweight division. Jan Blachowicz took Israel Adesanya down 3 times and outstruck him overall en route to a lopsided unanimous decision. And Israel Adesanya thinks Jan Blachowicz will do the same to Alex Pereira. I think Jan is gonna take him down and just beat him up there, Israel Adesanya said on his very popping YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to Israel Adesanya's YouTube channel. Jan Blachowicz will stand with him for a bit, but eventually, just to get him to the fence and or try to take him down the way he took me down. I don't think he's going to shoot. He's either going to get him to the, so he's either going to get him to the fence. Israel Adesanya, who reclaimed his UFC middleweight championship by knocking out Alex Pereira at UFC 287 amidst Jan Blachowicz surprised him with Jan Blachowicz' game plan when they fought. It was frustrating at the time because I was still catching him sometimes, but also it's respect, Israel Adesanya said. I think he was going to come and fight the way he normally fights, but he did that at the right time and he took me down. So yeah, Blachowicz could get caught coming in. It depends. What if he gets him down and keeps him down? I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, Israel Adesanya obviously has history with Jan Blachowicz, has history with Alex Pereira. Those are the only 2 losses on Israel Adesanya's record as far as MMA fights go. When Israel Adesanya moved up, he was the middleweight champion. He was trying to become a dual UFC champion. He moved up to fight Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz defeated him in unanimous decision 5-round victory. Jan Blachowicz, we have to figure out what's going on with him because his last fight was supposed to be, it was going to be Glover Teixeira for the title, right? And then they said no. I think Teixeira said no to that fight, right? And then Blachowicz was supposed to fight Ankalaev. And then they fought, and the fight ended in a tie, right? Wasn't it like a tie or something like that? I believe it was a tie. So I thought they were going to make the rematch between Blachowicz and Ankalaev. So I'm wondering what's happening with Ankalaev. How come he hasn't been booked for a fight, and Blachowicz is now moving on to Pereira? We also have to worry about Pereira. Pereira coming off of his first career loss, his first MMA loss. He got knocked out in the 2nd round, right? And that was in March. And for him to come back in what, July? You got like March. Was it April or March? Let's just say April. Let's say March. I think it was April. I feel like it was April. Hold on. What was UFC 287? Did they say it in this article? I don't think so. No. It says UFC 287. I can't remember. Let's just say it was April. April, May, June, July. I mean, 3 months later after a 2nd round KO. It wasn't even a TKO. It was a KO. Israel Adesanya KO'd Alex Pereira. So for Pereira to come back and fight before Israel Adesanya, like, is anyone talking about that? Like, that's, I don't know. We have to see what Pereira looks like after being knocked out cold, right? 3 months later. I think it's way too soon for him to be coming back, especially moving up in a different division. Like, there's a lot of power in, Jan Blachowicz. I know Israel Adesanya is talking about Jan Blachowicz wrestling, but I'm an MMA casual. But from what I understand, Jan Blachowicz claim to fame is the Polish power, right? Like, isn't that what he talks about? The power of Poland, or the Polish power, or something like that. The legendary Polish power. I believe that's the term he uses. So he could go out there and put hands on Pereira and just knock him out cold, right? And Jan Blachowicz is a big boy, but Alex Pereira is a big boy also. I believe there was rumors that he weighed like 220. He was walking around weighing about 220. People were saying probably not a good idea for someone who walks around at that weight to cut all the way down to 185 pounds and try to fight, an elite fighter, elite striker, someone like Israel Adesanya. Of course, you can get knocked out cold. So we have to see what Pereira looks like after that. And, another question is, who does Israel Adesanya fight next, right? If Pereira has now moved up to the light heavyweight division, Jan Blachowicz offered to go down to fight Israel Adesanya in the middleweight division. That's interesting. UFC just announced UFC 293, where I believe that's going to be happening in New Zealand or Australia. I believe it's Australia. I think it's Australia. Obviously, most likely, Israel Adesanya is going to be the headliner of that card. But with Robert Whittaker fighting Dricus du Plessis at UFC 290, Israel Adesanya is left without any opponents. So the two opponents I could think of, right, would be Jamal Hill in the light heavyweight division, but I don't think that makes any sense because Jamal Hill will most likely be fighting Yuri Pauska next. So then also Israel Adesanya versus Khamzat Chimaev, right? We haven't heard much from Khamzat Chimaev. UFC has pretty been steadfast in saying, like, Khamzat Chimaev, we were not booking him for another welterweight fight. So Israel Adesanya may, in my opinion, could be fighting Khamzat Chimaev next. And also, like, if Dricus du Plessis is not, it's off the table, Robert Whittaker's off the table, and Paulo Costa, there has been rumors that Khamzat Chimaev was going to fight Paulo Costa next, and all of these fighters are booked. So Israel Adesanya and Khamzat Chimaev, they're the only two free fighters. But I mean, in my opinion, I'm an MMA casual. UFC can make, out of the left field fight, right? But let me know your opinion of this story. Who do you think is going to win between Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira? Like I said, I personally don't think it's a great idea. I may be an MMA casual, but, after being knocked out cold in the second round, should Alex Pereira even accept this fight, right? Going up to a new division, legendary Polish power, Jan Blachowicz could knock out Alex Pereira 3 months after he got knocked out, right? Like, so we'll see. It will say a lot about Pereira if he goes up and, defeats Jan Blachowicz. But personally, I would not recommend someone taking another, fist fight 3 months after being literally knocked out cold. Like, it was pretty bad. It was pretty vicious knockout. I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya predicts Jan Blachowicz will defeat Alex Pereira. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button. And please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.